How's it going? Okay, so we're starting the recording for today's OG Roundtable. I think I can share my screen, so I'm going to share my screen to make sure that people can see it. Let me just share my screen. Yep, this one here. Hoping you guys can see the stream. Can you guys see my screen?
No, moment.
Should be coming up soon. It says it's paused right now. But what I'll do is I'm going to share a document so that you guys can refer to it anyway. So let me share the document right now. Okay, and link can be viewing it. Yep, copy the link. So if you can see this here, okay. So that's going to be the minutes for today. What we're going to discuss, and what I'll do is how we run this is I'll go through it, but more than welcome anytime whatsoever for you to unmute yourself. So if you're not talking. If you're not talking at all, mute yourself so that at least there's no background or feedback noise or anything like that. If you can't speak for any reason, your mic's not working, whatever, just type a message into the OG Holders Club channel, and I'll constantly try to look at that to answer the questions. Or if anyone's got anything to say, just unmute themselves and just by means comment, okay, or ask your questions. So based on the document today, I want to address a few things. The first thing is I want to go through the current roadmap of OG and bring that up and see where we're at with things, and also what is yet to be delivered and how we're going to arrange all those things there. And also how do we actually, what is the future planning for this year? Like, we need to be able to, I guess, consolidate a few things because we have a lot of stuff going on, and I don't want it to conflict or mix match with anything else. Okay, so I'm just going to run through quickly what the stuff based on the ToastPunk.com and mint.toastpunk.com roadmap is, what is seen there, and also what's seen in the Discord channel. So we've got ETH prizes, which is essentially the end of drop prizes that runs. I think it's a one ETH at the first drop, or the second drop. The third drop was 1.5, is 1.5. The fourth is 2 ETH, and the last is 2.5 ETH. So there's that ETH prize drop there, which the project has allocated in accordance for that there. Then we've got gas rebates for those that minted, obviously up to $100 per wallet. So if you mint multiple, it's still 100. If you mint one, you only paid 30. It's $30. Okay. Then we've got the merchandise, the free merchandise for OGs, based on the initial plan was the matching of emotions and things like that, which we still have those graphics and the linkages done. But ever since then, obviously, we've grown the project with other things. So I think this needs to be looked at as well. And then we've got gaming access, which initially the gaming access was obviously the casino, VIP casino access in ToastPunk world. But that's not updated at all because the casino side of, actually, in fact, we've got a casino project that someone wants to do. One of our other founders from another business I've got wants to do a crypto casino, which could also be possibly this, but for now we have not put anything on the roadmap or radar on it yet, because it's still like there's other prerogatives and other priorities we need to address first. Then obviously in the roadmap also we've got the early access for ToastPunk ICO. So anyone that minted or has an OG from number 501 onwards has an ICO opportunity, early access to our Toast ICO, which is the intended coin for ToastPunk World. Then drop 4, we've got collab invite access as well. And then drop 5, we've got the paid holiday for the closest auction. And then the final 10 ToastPunks, which we were going to mint ourselves and run auctions. All proceeds to charity in that sense there. So that's the roadmap outline for what OG is. Okay. And sorry, the final thing is obviously early access to ToastPunk World, which once again, yes, we were working on, but we had to put on hold based on some scenarios in the market, and also what is real and what is not real. We got to be realistic with a few things here, okay? So anyway, to address all of this here, like it is the this is the what I guess everyone here minted for or own an OG Toastpunk for, based on these things here. Whether or not it's for one particular thing or two particular things or whatever, it doesn't really matter. From our project perspective, this is what we assured part of the whole the mint process, and what we're going to give as a utility for that NFT is. So from a project point, we still have to deliver on that there. Um, However, as you know, the project has grown. We've got the second drop, ToastPunk Genesis, which is based on getting more exposure, I guess, in the market. That was the intention of it. And then we've got Collection 3, which is coming out from Collection. It's a perk of Collection 2, and also a perk of OG, because you would then be able to mint Collection 4. Once again, Collection 4 is going to be quite special, and we just recently updated to the whole humanoid collection, which if you will see in another document that we have announced in the announcement section, you'll be able to see what's going on there. But I guess today what I want to address is this, and I welcome any feedback from anyone here whatsoever, and any comments from anyone at all as to what we could be doing moving forward with this year. Okay, so by all means, anyone, the proposal I'm going to put forward. So I'm just going to caveat this with a proposal of what I'm thinking from a project point of view, and then let's work it out as a family, as what we're in here for. Okay, so I'm proposing that we consolidate right now the whole OG roadmap. We consolidate into one simple category, okay, which is basically owning an OG. Owning an OG basically is a right in a DAO that we will form. Okay, now what's the reason of this? Why we do it this way is a few reasons. Okay, so first and foremost, there's a lot of ifs and not ifs and ands if things happen here. So like this has to happen in order for that to happen, in order for that to happen, and there's just too many ifs and ands. Okay, so I mean, we outlined this back in October, November, December last year when we first launched out, not knowing the NFT space it's such a fickle space. And I mean, we're still I think we're blessed that we have really good people in our community, and long-term holders in the community as well. But what I found is that the NFT space is really fickle. People move on really quickly. Their attention spans are really short, and I don't blame them whatsoever, because people want to get in on projects that are hot. A lot of them want to make some money, which is fine. That's the purpose of it, right? Ultimately, when we launched this project, it was about delivering massive utility, brave and ambitious utility for everyone, and it still is until today. Which is why we're doing things like ToastPunk Genesis, we're doing Racer Club, we're building all of that through our company Vault. Okay, so my point is this: I think a consolidation or a revamp of this roadmap is required. And I did speak to a few other OG members who are in agreement. Okay, I want to know what everyone else thinks, whether or not this is a good step or not. But just to highlight what I mean by that is this: we're not going to lose, or we're not going to lose any of these utilities here. In fact, the utilities will be more versatile, because what will happen is we will then direct all the funds, all the treasury, all the basically. So there'll be a balance of the project funds that will go into the OG DAO. There will also be continuous funds flowing through. So the intention is collection 1, 2, 3, and 4. All royalties for perpetuity will go to the ToastPunk OG DAO. Okay, so it's not just for a particular period or anything like that. Everything goes to the OG DAO. So it's easy enough for me to switch the wallets to the OG DAO wallet. Okay, so by that means, when that happens, then I guess the DAO or people that are part of the DAO, the members of the DAO, can then decide what would they like to happen first, what is priorities. So it's the process is quite simple in a DAO. It's if people haven't been up in a DAO before, it works this way. It's just basically someone comes up with a proposal of what they intend to use action. So it could be usage of the funds, it could be just a general action of whatever. It goes through a process of voting, so there'll be we can set it up whatever way we want as the original DAO. We can say 50%, 40% of holders need to vote in and pass the proposal. Once the proposal is passed, then it goes through, okay, and we action those things using the treasury funds, okay. So that is my idea. That is my proposal on what we should be doing with the roadmap of OG. Okay. In essence, consolidate all of this here so there's none of this anymore that exists. Okay. Um, and basically, one OG NFT equals to a DAO seed. Now, obviously, it's staggered right now, so we've got drop 1, drop 2, drop 3, drop 4, drop 5, and the prices go up in accordance. And some people have spent a little bit more. Some people have got some airdrops. It's all sort of like, based on what I looked at, it is quite even. And in fact, what I can potentially do is this: we can go back and address those that have paid extra for. We can do. I'm just now again. Once a proposal, if you go through the DAO, for those that have paid extra for a particular OG at a particular point, then we can airdrop more to that person there, so it evens out the split. Okay. And what I mean by even out the split is this. So we've got 0.19 ETH as the min price for drop 3, which some people have paid. Some people have done through the liquidity offer we made from the project to go through the NFTX vault. Either way, we can run through all of that there and say, if you say we want to set the price right now at I'm just saying again, say we set the min price at 0.09 or 0.1 as a straight price all the way to 1,000 to mint into the OG DAO. Whoever has paid lesser or more, we can attribute basically extra NFTs to that person. So we build up a bit the current holdership, and therefore make it even for everyone. Now, before I go on anymore, can I just get some feedback from anyone here about what that proposal is about and whether you got any concerns or questions? So let's start with, I don't know, Lucky Dad, do you have any questions at all or feedback?
No, I overall agree with the move, and I think I definitely agree with consolidating um, the roadmap. And I feel like of the options that are there, like the ICO, we kind of discussed and went through. Well, the OG DAO will have access to, I think, funds from our reoccurring that we can vote to pay out to members. So I think that'll give us access for ongoing revenue or passive income. And also inside of the Racer Club project itself and the Racer Club DAO will have access to, as a group, invest in that as well. So I think the spirit of being in the project and having access to those things and the pivot, one gives us kind of the original spirit of what we all came into it for. But I think as we move forward, the OG DAO and changing direction to the OG DAO gives us all the holders back a lot more value long term than the initial roadmap. So, the initial roadmap was a little bit finite, where I think as explained to me, as we move forward, moving to the DAO kind of makes it a perpetual and ongoing roadmap that we can continue to add perks and value to the OG holders.
No, I appreciate that, Lucky. That thank you so much. I think the what we'll do always, and as I said, the DAO formation and the setup is based on what everyone puts forward together and what they propose as far as each and every perk that was assured to them at the very beginning. So, for example, let's take some critical examples here. Okay, ETH prizes. Okay, that was to individual particular minters. Okay, now we can actually say, once we form the DAO and we have funds there to distribute, we said instead of giving to one person, let's distribute to all, or let's run a particular sweeping contest, or member recruitment contest or something, and then award the person that did the best way. So it's all about providing value. Gas rebates, once again, we can use the funds in the treasury to repay gas rebates. The thing though with gas rebates, I've sort of worked out all the way, is that we have in fact given a lot back, like in terms of airdrop or something to compensate for gas rebates that go on. Okay, so once again we can do that as well to rebuild up. Merchandise, we've dropped some here and there. I think there's about 20 or 30 merchandise out there to various kind of people, some OGs, some Genesis, some whatever. It's just so that we got the blend all out. But once again, we can put this part and parcel of what we'll use the treasury funds for. Gaming access, again, if it's really required, we need to build a casino, and that's what we really want. That's fine. But we've got now a gaming access via the ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club, and also potentially the Humanoids Racer Club. Okay, the early access for Toast ICO, as mentioned before, we are going to be launching the Racer Club R Club token. Okay, that'll be much faster than obviously this one here, and that'll be our main token that comes up, and a big token as well, based on the roadmap we can form there. So once again, we'll replace the Toast with the R Club token, and also if we do any other tokens in the future, that will be the same thing as well. Collab invites. This was put in there so that the collab partners join in, but there's already plenty of collabs joining in right now. They're helping coming and sweep the floor. They're investing in the project. They are running their giveaways on their side and things like that. So this needs to be handled on a different level, which this drop 4 wouldn't have worked out for anyway. Okay. Auction, this charity stuff. So the idea was, for drop 5 to bring in the whales, which we already got some, and in fact we can bring much more in here, and I'll address how this will work better with the DAO. My point is, with the last final 10 of the auction, we can still run this, so we can still get it all the way through mint for the DAO, the last 10, and then run auctions via the DAO that way. So it's to particular charities that we choose ourselves. And early access to ToastPunk World, I just want to address this here, okay, so that we're all very clear as to it's not something that we don't want to do, or we are not going to do anything like that. It's still in our plans, okay. But I'll tell you why it's going to be hard for us to deliver the ToastPunk World side of things, okay. As we all know, ToastPunk World is about greeting other PFP communities inside our world and giving them a life and building simulation game. Starting with a job, building up, we in fact got the whole plan mapped out for that day, including the SDK characters. But we have not. The only thing we have not done is gone into the dynamics of how it operates in the game, okay, or in the metaverse, okay. The issue we've got is obviously, as everyone knows, there's the other side by Yuga Labs and BAYC, which they announced prematurely before doing anything else, and through their trailer videos, you can see it's all SDK based. What that means is they use that same technology we were going to use, or we had, to create crossover, crossover PFPs into their metaverse. Okay. The thing though is this. I think Other Side is still a very vague project, similar to all these other metaverse vague projects. And what I mean by vague is, like, okay, you can buy a piece of land, you can trade on the land, you can build your mansion, you can do, whatever you want in that metaverse land. But I think the key problem is, what are you going to do with it? Like, how are you going to get value from that land? Like, isn't it the same thing as you going to Beverly Hills, buying a land there and building something there, or going and buying a property somewhere else and renting it out, It's the same thing. So I don't understand how that would, I guess, correlate back with the, the idea of us giving passive income to people, giving passive income to the holders, okay? I just don't understand how that could configure itself properly, okay? But obviously, we all heard about Racer Club and what it can do. where ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club will be the first early access game out there that all these students, all these holders, all you guys as well that got the airdrops from it will be able to go in and play as long as you hold your NFT and you have it. And the design of that whole Racer Club has been actually been very plausible in the sense of the discussions we've had with the backers, the founders, some very special P2E guilds and all of that. Everyone so far I've heard positively about what they think about the game, because it's something that is missing in the space. So for those of you that just are still not clear what Racer Club is, it is not just a single racing game. It's not a single ToastPunk Genesis Racer game. We are providing early access to our guys or us here for early access. But in fact, it's actually a big metaverse. So how it works is, we've got 2,500 allowances for game packs, which means any collection out there can come in, they can mint a game pack and start their own Racer Club game. So it could be, CryptoPunks, it could be MAYC, it could be Meebits, whatever. Okay, all of them follow a set rules of the game. So it's like you starting a soccer club. Okay, when you start a soccer club, you already know the rules of the game. There's a ball, there's 11 players each side, there's a goalkeeper, there's a striker, there's boundaries, there's everything there. So that's similar how Racer Club works. It's already given you the rules. The only thing you're going to configure it with, or the NFT project's going to configure it with, is their races, so the personal characters in each game, and the racetrack, okay, to make it look like their own. There's options for them to buy more levels or tracks, okay, which basically enhances their game, or enhances, in soccer terms, it enhances their stadium. They've got more things down there to make themselves better, their club better, okay. And in phase 3 of Racer Club, which is the big one, where we're going to run it all via our club token, a Racer Club DAO, and a few other things there. The idea with that is to have a massive, if you talk about soccer terms again, you got Champions League, you got Europa League, you got FIFA World Cup. So that's what Racer Club is going to be ultimately, where we're going to compile the best of those 2,500 clubs out there and bring them into a crossover metaverse where they can play in each other's game. So one racer can go into the other game and play for their native token. So for example, ToastPunk, if we make it up to the top, we can go to CryptoPunks if they've got a game and they made it up to the top 2 and get rewarded with Punk tokens. So then we become fractional owners of CryptoPunk. Similarly, we jump to Meebits, or we jump to something else and we earn their native tokens. But because the crossover metaverse of phase 3 is a huge one. It's one where we're going to run using the art tokens. We can afford to deploy esports type tournament prizes. So we're talking about 500 grand, $1 million, $10 million kind of prizes to attract the massive audience out there from esports, from virtual, from everywhere else. So back to my point here is this. Okay, Racer Club is almost equivalent or better than a roadmap for ToastPunk World. Okay, but I'm gonna umbrella this with something else. Okay, so as I said earlier on, ToastPunk World is not finished. Okay, it's actually in fact just getting started. Okay, the idea we can umbrella the whole thing with is this. Finally, with Racer Club as one of the clubs, we know that if we can perform this, we carved our niche. We got the backing, we got the massive funding to go through with it all and launch the whole thing out. With purely the attraction, and the main thing what people like about is the multi-community aspect and the Web3 persona element of each and every game out there, because that's how we keep the retention in per game. Now, if you're able to do that successfully for, say, Racer Club as a generic term, there's no reason why we can't do something called Battle Club or Fight Club or one of the other P2E genres underneath what will then become the ToastPunk World umbrella. Okay, so my point is this: there's no we're not stopping. As a project, we're not stopping, but we're just trying to make the right decisions as far as giving value back in the space. And we know for a fact right now the only way that we can move forward a lot is via funding. Like, you need to have massive funding. Okay, and I'm gonna give one example here, which some of you may know of and some of you may not know of. but I'll give you one simple example of what's happening in the space today and how does it work in the blue chip territory. Okay, so everyone's heard here about Moonbirds, I'm sure. Okay, the craziness of Moonbird a week and a half ago launch, 20, 30 ETH, 40 ETH, brilliant. Now, realistically speaking, you look at that art, you're gonna go, how does a pixel owl achieve that sort of value and impact in the market, right? And then you look at also, okay, cool, they've got a really, really awesome team behind them. The CEO, he's a ex-VC guy and still got his hands in a few other VCs. And he's, like a big social account. He's got the engagement. People follow him. But I'll tell you what actually stemmed from everything here. And I don't know whether you guys know this or not, but I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. I'm going to drop the link as well. I'm going to drop the link in the OG holder chat group so you guys can see. They belong to something called the Proof Collective. Now, some of you might already know this. Some of you might not know it, but this is just so that you know what's going on. It's called the Proof Collective. And the Proof Collective essentially is, if you go through the website, and it's on video right now so people can see, the Proof Collective is 1,000, okay, 1,000 again, NFT collection, but based on a membership of this, they run it like a DAO, exactly the same way, okay? A lot of the funding from their projects come back into here. They put up funding as well when they want to invest into their own membership, okay, which is their DAO. And if you look at what they've accomplished over, the few years that have established themselves, they've got 1,000 membership NFTs, so 1,000 exactly. All of those members own 153,940 NFTs in total. 148 of them are CryptoPunks. 817 of them are Bored Apes. 499 Meebits. 5,288 Art Blocks. Super Rares 326 and Metaverses Lands 273. Okay. Now, how to get access to this membership? Because this is what we were discussing before, and I thought, brilliant, if we can be part of this, would be great, right? Check out what their OpenSea level is right now, and they've set this at such a. They were 100 ETH yesterday. Today they're 119 ETH. Their traded volume is 12.7K. So people are actually trading across this. Yes, but they might be doing it by themselves or whatever, but it's still established as a legitimate, proper collective. Now, this is the epitome of all biggest kind of DAOs, that are managed. And guess what? Moonbirds guys are from here. It's the same people as well. And after Moonbirds did their launch, together with their whole connection of what they had, and the ability to fund everything all together and push everything hard into the secondary and everything else, right? There's another 12 or 13 other collections joined with them that also moved up in price straight away. 1 ETH, 2 ETH, 3 ETH, 5 ETH, and they're growing. Okay. My whole point of view showing this is this. I believe that having a capacity of people, okay, that are in line with what we want to do as a group, right, will make much more better sense for the project rather than us as the project trying to carry out the roadmap ourselves, because I think the togetherness aspect of this is going to work really, really well. Any one of you here that holds an OG NFT, once the DAO is set up, can make any proposal you want. It could be, let's get one of the guys to go out there and fight for whitelist in particular projects, and let's mint in that projects and let's share the profits or whatever it might be. Other side, for example, if you were established, big enough already, and the other and send other side opportunity comes up, we can all go, okay, listen here, let's put in all 50 grand, 100 grand, 60 grand, 40 grand, whatever, 5 grand, 10 grand, 2 grand, build up our land investment in the other side and invest in other side. That way, we can stack the quotas. So, we know that, quotas will be 1 in 10 in each parcel of land that comes up. And the quotas is going to be BAYC the next collection. And they're going to be like a blue chip for sure. So my point is, there's plenty of things we can decide together. And I'm sure I've seen a lot of you, propose stuff and ideas in the group chats that are very legitimate and very, correct. But if you put it to the project, then it's up to me to decide, and then and then I'm gonna come back to you guys to all decide again. I think we do it together will be the best. Okay. Of course, I will be part of the DAO as well. Okay. And our CFO will be part of the DAO as well. Zed Baby, who's here today, and our CTO also be part of the DAO. And a lot of my backers investors will be part of the DAO as well. We've got some other influencers also part of the DAO. My point is this. The DAO would be the highest epitome of ToastPunk. Everything we do. Okay? And as I said earlier on, ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club is not owned, the players get rewarded, absolutely, whoever owns it, but the actual collection wallet owner is going to be the DAO. Okay, that's why there's the 15% of revenue coming or reserved for the DAO in that sense. Okay, similar to if we were going to do a humanoids early access. Now we can decide all these things here. We can say, let's not make humanoids part of a ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club. Let's create another club, okay, called Humanoids, a ToastPunk Humanoids Racer Club. And I can also just say, here's early access, because we are creating, obviously, WAP is creating Racer Club, so we can decide, who we want to come out first. We might even do other further deals with some other collab partners that are coming in earlier, to join in. We can do also various other things with collab partners. We can put their graphics into our maps, and depending on which one, So, as I said, I want us to understand that, I've never ever forgotten about what OG is about, okay? And I've built everything for OG, like till date. All the empowerment is back towards OG, okay? And this way, I think there's no other way we can show huge commitment to you, to the OGs, that, every royalty, so every 1, 2, 3, 4 of ToastPunk, 5% straight into the wallet of the DAO, okay? Treasury decides what to do. OG DAO decides what to do. 15% of the ToastPunk Genesis Racer, only the ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club game goes into the DAO wallet. Similar with if you're going to do humanoids, once again. Okay, so that's the commitment from the project side. That's our funding. That's basically where the secondary funding, which we were always building for, to build up, right? Now, let us then go out and use our vehicles of WAP, as a company, and also the project, Racer Club as a project, to go out there and get the bigger funding, which is basically, like, I'll give an example, the game pack NFT drop for Racer Club. There is, say we go out there and say we allow list 2,500 different projects out there. The allow list would mean it's based on the collection address, so any of their holders or their founders that is part of that collection can go and mint that game pack, and it's one game pack per allow list. Okay. Now the price we haven't set yet, but we're thinking around. It's a game. It's actually a full game pack, and instead of like a metaverse, you got to wait 7 to 9 months to build it. It's already built for you. All you got to do is add your art and a few other things. The price is going to be around probably 1.5 ETH per game pack. Okay. That means for 2,500 plus the 7,500 racetracks, we can potentially raise around, close to $10 to $15 million, okay, for the funding for Racer Club. Now, how does that relate back, and how is that important back towards ToastPunk OG DAO? It's simple as this. I would then push everything I can to get Genesis Racer Club as the best club down there, okay? Therefore, creating the demand on the actual NFTs that are needed to play the game, okay? Because we'll have all these 2,500 people waiting to go, hey, I want to play mine, but let's test out the game first. Where can I test it out? So there's humanoids, there's ToastPunk Genesis. Cool. Let me just buy one of those NFTs, or let me rent one of those NFTs. And plenty of you guys have extra NFTs to rent out there as well, so there'll be some passive income for individually, okay? However, from a overarching point of view, it's going to be great, because we're going to go, okay, we've got now X amount of funding. Now, the first drop funding will come to us, okay, as the project, okay, the NFT drop project after our costs, etc. I'm even prepared, and that's why I'll be sitting on the DAO here, and I'm sure our CFO would agree to it. We can go and easily tip in, 500 grand from that funding there into the current collections, the Genesis collection, for example, to market make the price, okay? Like, we know, simple as this right now, if you go to the Genesis floor right now, and everyone else out there in the holders and all are talking when one ETH, when this, when one that, we can mark and make that price to whatever we want it to be. Now, whether marking making is good because it doesn't carry on a secondary flow, in fact, actually it does at some occasions, because you will get trending on IC tools, you will get trending on OpenSea itself, and it'll push forward the project in that sense. You push forward the secondary activity in that sense. It's already done. That's how that's how the Proof Collective and the other people did it. It's exactly the way it's done on secondary. Okay, so my point is this: we'll commit those funds. Like, that's not a problem, but we need a vehicle to commit to grow those funds. Okay, to achieve those funds. And Racer Club is one way, one very, very clear roadmap on us and the VCs as well to go, fine, let's do this. And also simple, and it's very simple for collection owners to go, yes. Like in fact, we started already right now. I think there's close to 12 or 13 ready to sign up with the allow list, but we're putting the names down. We've built ourselves already close to 180 solid names that we know could be part of it. We just need to work on getting the balance. And also, so FYI, we are bringing on the launchpad partner. So this launchpad partner is quite big. They've done Sandbox, they've done Cedos Heroes, they've done a few other P2Es, and their average raise is about 80 to 100 million dollars as far as what they do when they push out. So that one there is happening for Racer Club, and it can only happen for that particular vehicle because it's a nice set, simple P2E game. Well, when I say simple, it's a P2E a box game for them to go, okay, I know exactly what's happening here. Instead of, oh, there's ToastPunk here, there's OG DAO, there's a you know what I mean. So my purpose is to establish with funding, we can do what we want to do basically, and that's how we can sort of funnel back to the OG DAO aspect to say, hey, let's pump up now. Let's get more, let's get more people on board. That's the other issues as well. We probably got to work on is how do we expand our holdership or our DAO to bring really, really good people inside, really, really good holders inside, really firm believers of our project. And there's plenty of us here already, but there could be much more. We multiply this by 3 times, 2 times, 3 times. We are already there as far as what we got. And similarly as well, like, we're going to understand something here. How the Proof Collective got up to their 100 ETH price. Like, I know everyone needs liquidity and this and that and whatever. Please do not use OG as a liquidity, a liquidity opportunity. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why right now, just so you know the horizon in the future. Okay. So based on our predictions, we estimate that ToastPunk Genesis, if we achieve the Racer Club game and gamers are there happy and everything's going well, right? We believe that the ceiling, there's a particular ceiling for the NFT for Genesis. Okay, that will get up to probably my prediction is about 1 ETH, 1.5 ETH as a maximum. That's the biggest value ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club ToastPunk Genesis NFTs can go. And the reason for that is because it's attached to a game. It's attached to a P2E game. And there's a definite revenue link back to each NFT, right? For example, there's X amount of games you can play, X amount of money you can make per day. So because of that, people are going to decide on the fact of whether they should buy or whether they should rent, okay? Because we got the rent allowance for that as well. What that means is the growth of that there's a ceiling, okay? We're going to spend X amount in order for us to make this amount in P2E, okay? So that's why the utility attachment to ToastPunk Genesis will have, I think, a ceiling issue. That's not really an issue, but it's a ceiling where it'll just go up to one particular point and it'll stop there, okay? Similar with Collection 4, Humanoids, if we do make it into its own game, it's going to have the same issue, but it might be a little bit better because it was a very exclusive way to get it, that collection to start with. So the price could be a little bit high, but similar as well. It's going to be, I would say, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and then hover around that sort of mark there. Okay. So there's opportunities for trades, between 0.5 to 1 ETH for those 2 collections there. Now, Collection 3, the pass that gets burned, that could be a bit more dearer, but once again, not too much. I think maybe 2 ETH, 1.8 ETH will be the sort of extreme of that there. But I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to call this right now. The OG, if we do not attach anything to it, like, ToastPunk World or any other small little things like gas rebates and merch and all that kind of other stuff, right? Just do not attach anything to it whatsoever, except for the fact that each OG gets you a seat in the ToastPunk OG DAO. The ceiling is infinite. The ceiling could be whatever you want it to be. Depends again on what we achieve as the DAO. You understand what I'm saying? And if you get what I mean here is basically if we succeed as how these guys have succeeded, Proof Collective, and I know it's far away, very, very far away, okay? But we know that there's a way, okay? We bring good people in, we make good investments, okay? We look after the rest of our other community members. We make it clear and concise. What is the OG NFT for? The OG NFT for is a seat at the table. And these people are so tight and so close with each other that they can set the price for whatever they want. Look at this. I don't know whether, sorry, you guys can't see it in the screen yet, but I'm on OpenSea in their Proof Collective page. As I said, yesterday was 1 ETH. I don't know where that 1 ETH ended up. Someone bought it, must be. 11 hours ago, it was bought for 101 ETH.5 from Buzzy to back to Proof Collective. So it's back to themselves, so to speak. Either way, they've got trades every single day. Probably that's their mantra to say, let's have 2 or 3 trades every day for 100 ETH, between us. So they grow the price that way. They must have set it up that way. Either way, they've done it really well. They've set themselves up as a extreme membership to come in, and they've got a lot of attraction and funds in order for them to do what they want to do. Okay, that's the goal, and that's what the purpose of what I want to achieve with it. Glasspot had a question in there. I'm just gonna take a sip of water because I'm a bit thirsty right now. But is there anyone else got any comments before we move on to, I guess, the actual DAO itself, or I want to discuss about the DAO part? Is there any other comments or questions by anyone? Feel free to unmute and ask any questions or comments. Lucky Dad, got anything to say? Or anyone else?
No, so I'll pose a question. I think that'll help, and because I agree with the collective approach and detaching from the DAO, and that adds the value to the OG. You kind of talk to it, but in one sense, and at least for me, when I first saw it, before I kind of understand the bigger picture, I felt like we were getting kind of left behind.
Yep.
As in Racer Club, and even the next thing that Warp does kind of grows, but we don't necessarily feel attached to it.
Yep.
But for me, one, I think having the OG DAO as a collective kind of makes sense there. But can you speak to the individual other things that draw revenue, like the R Club token and the next token? How is that tied back into the DAO and helping the DAO, the OG DAO?
Yeah. So that's
if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So, for example, Vince will attest to this here as a CFO of Warp, right? Obviously, we know that ToastPunk is our brainchild. It's basically what it's the first and original thing that we've done. So with the R Club token, with the R Club launch, right? It's a bit of a chicken and egg story, okay? Where basically, we need to do something that is kind of like away in order for us, away from ToastPunk in order for us to achieve what we need to achieve with Racer Club. But in the same sense, obviously, because I will play a role in Racer Club or the whole ecosystem of Racer Club as a whole, and I've also allocated basically funding from the launch or the launch to Warp and to the founders of ToastPunk. Okay. First and foremost, the deal with early access to Toast as the OG NFT in drop 3, right? I would immediately write that in to the early access in R Club token, similar as how we were to do Toast token. Okay, so for example, we do the R Club token, and we have private funding round, we have whitelist funding round, we have public round, etc., etc. investor rounds, all of that. I would put ToastPunk or the DAO itself, okay, or individuals if you want to, into that first trench, okay, which means that there'll be some, there'll be some investments in, but there'll be some equivalent airdrops that you get as well, things like that. So, and don't forget, we've already given Genesis NFTs to everyone here. There's also, as a racer in Racer Club, you also, people also get airdrops there. So there's multiple ways that you can personally and also as a DAO benefit from the iClub token launch, which is what I will be establishing in the actual launch tokenomics. Does that answer your question?
No, exactly. And help me see if this understands it. So not only I think that fulfills our original idea of getting access to early access to Toast, but now we also get the equivalent of that with our club, but also kind of
Absolutely.
like you said, infinite thing. The next project, we have access to that as a DAO as well. So
Absolutely.
we're
Absolutely.
by separating, we're able to grow. I think at least more infinite, like you said earlier.
Correct. So the plan is the separation plan is actually quite simple because a lot of the VC firms will look at it and go, okay, your brand is ToastPunk, right? Okay, cool. That's fine. We can build a ToastPunk P2E game, or we can build a ToastPunk something or ToastPunk World or whatever it might be, right? The issue with VCs today is this: they look at your brand and they go, okay, you got a great brand, no problem. You got community, you got sold out project, you got a good team, you got good people, you got everything else, right? But then they see a market where it's only this niche. It's like this particular niche of something. It's not niche, but it's closed. It's closed to what their community, what they want, and whether or not people want to jump into ToastPunk and things like that, right? Now, if we create as a, and that's why the Racer Club game is hitting a lot of strides right now, and people are loving it, is because we're actually opening up to the market again, saying, hey, we're actually, in essence, in computer terms, some of you might know it's called white labeling. Okay, we are basically white labeling a game for other collections out there to build on their success or build on their vibes and build on their community. Okay, but we need that. That ultimate link there is perfect for what we want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? It's what is missing. It's what is missing today in the space, and it's what the space actually is technically about. Okay, so previously it was all about me, 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 me. Us, our brand, our brand, our brand, our brand. In Web3, I feel the success is going to be gained when you put your hands together, and that's why you got things like the DAO instead of corporations and members of board of directors. Okay, you got the DAO, which everyone plays a role in straight away. So it's like you don't have silent shareholders, you don't have whatever. It's all bang. That's it. You guys can decide what you want to do. Similar with the market. If you're going to offer something to the market, you need to give inclusivity with everyone. Okay, and that's where Racer Club feels a massive void in the P2E space right now. Everyone is building their own thing. Okay, everyone is building. Obviously you got Axie previously, you got Rev Racing, you've got Cedos Heroes, you've got what you name it. Everyone's got their own brand and they're building their own thing. They don't include other communities in. But what we've done is we've created a generic platform for everyone to jump in. So that's why we need to disassociate ToastPunk and that, but at the same time show some favoritism, which we have through early access. Okay, the first game off the trench will be ToastPunk players to play in. So all the momentum, all the push is for those guys there. People will know, like people know that Warp, who's behind ToastPunk, who's also behind Racer Club, is the same. The whole project behind them. So my point is this: definitely, definitely, definitely all the roadmap elements of what we discussed as part of my original setting as the project founder to every person who's minted and owns a ToastPunk NFT is 100% there or more through what we're going to offer via this clean roadmap. I think it's just going to be much more cleaner for us. People come to the toastpunk.com website or the minting page. They go, what am I doing here? Simple. You get an NFT access to the DAO. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, any other questions? Anyone else before we go past this here? Any questions about anything at all? Please raise your hand, or not raise your hand, but unmute yourself and speak now. Anything else? Chris, Boff, Maxi, anything to say? Sandaphone? Summershine, feel free.
Question actually about the NFTX.io. Are we still going to continue working with that? Are we unstaking the LP tokens?
No, that's a good question. So the NFTX.io platform was built for ToastPunk Genesis, so it's not a particular a DAO matter. But in saying that though, um, like the issue with NFTX is this: the more NFTs are there without liquidity pairing, the price of TPGen is gonna drop, right? So once again, this is one of the things which we've already worked out and configured for the market making activities, right? That requires around probably $450 to $500,000 in liquidity additions to NFTX at its current level. Okay, actually, probably sorry, we still need to remove about 150 NFTs from there to get it to that 1 ETH floor price. Okay, which will then market make the OpenSea side of things at a 1 ETH side as well. If you can stake without losing, if you can unstake without losing ETH, I would suggest you do it. But if there's going to be loss of ETH from your side, I would say just leave it in there. Like, it's no big deal. Just leave it in there for now. Let it run. Let it do its thing. Okay. Let the project. Let us realize, what we need to do with the funding, the big funding for Racer Club, and also, anything else that we come up with in the DAO side of things here, and then do some moves like that. Like, these are the moves we need to be smart about the moves we make, and things like, putting 450, 500 grand into the vault, cleaning up the floor a little bit here would instantly create a market maker move on IC tools and everything else. But for now, to answer your question, sorry, is just leave it there if it doesn't cost you too much ETH, because I know it's costing a lot of people a lot of unpulling fees and gas fees and all of that. So I would say leave it there for now. That's my suggestion.
But we shouldn't put any more in there either, right? Or should
Nah,
we?
don't put any more in there. Don't put any more in there. I would
Okay.
say
Okay.
it's full. It's enough. Leave it for now. The idea moving forward would probably be now. I would say let's focus at the DAO, and see what we can do
Yes.
here to bring us better.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Any other questions, guys? No other questions?
You're talking
Yep.
when you're
Todd, how are you, mate?
talking. I'm good. When you're talking about NFTX, you don't want to add liquidity either anymore.
No, as I said, we will add liquidity there, but it has to be done in a big format. If we do it small format right now, the impact is not going to be as great, right? Yes, I know that if multiple people do big format, then it'd be great. I'm suggesting something as big as this even. Okay, just hear me out. Okay. So if for example, we know that we've got established funding for Racer Club on the other side. Say we do a massive NFT drop, we get the funding, or we do pre-funding or whatever it might be. We've got to spare 400 or 500. I'm sure Vince and I would talk about it and say, hey, let's put 400 or 500 to the DAO, okay, the ToastPunk DAO, okay, and then you guys work it out together and pass some sort of I guess proposal to say, hey, let's put that 400 or 500 in there right now, split with everyone, okay, so everyone goes in, everyone puts TPGen tokens in there. It's basically you are actually putting in there and you're actually getting the TPGen tokens. But what we've done is we've sort of pushed up the price for TPGen that way. But you guys all hold TPGen tokens by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do things like that to ensure that the bridge is always there and we keep it going, alive. But my point is, I need everyone, in the DAO to make sure that I know some are not here and some are here, whatever it might be. We got to find out, but it's not many. I think there's 18 or 17 or 16 up to the 5 ETH price. We need to start somewhere. We need to say, okay, bang, this is our price, 5 ETH. That's it. Okay. So when we open up, say, open minting right now for new people to come in, and we vet them or dox them and have a particular process of bringing them in, then we say, okay, the price is, say we establish at 0.19 ETH, for example, okay, to come into the DAO, 1 ETH. They'll go, okay, fine, it's 5 ETH on the floor, I'm coming in. What are my benefits? Simple. We're just part of the DAO. We manage the treasury of everything ToastPunk. That's it. So for now, I would say no actionable items needed to add small liquidity into TPGen. That's probably going to be mute in that point for now. I would think. Okay. Any other questions at the roadmaps? Are we all in like kind of agreement here that we should consolidate this roadmap, or is there anyone that has any other questions on it? Can just speak your mind right now, please. We need to know. Unmute and say I don't like it. Unmute and say I don't think it's gonna work. Just say whatever you need to say. If you don't have, then that's fine. We will proceed to the next part. Okay. Lucky that we cool to proceed to the next part.
Yeah, I think we're good to go from my perspective.
Okay, cool. For those that are listening to the recording as well, obviously, we're not going to not hear your voice. You need to tell us as well what's going on. So please come back to the OG Holder chat room and drop anything you need to drop there for us. So I guess we're all in agreement that what we'll do is we would consolidate the whole roadmap. So a website change, a min page change, and we decide a few things on what we're going to do here. In OpenSea side change as well, and just make it just one. The only utility of OG NFT is to have a seat on in the OG DAO. Okay, that's as simple as that. And then what happens in here stays in the OG DAO. We work out what needs to happen. We might illustrate what we're doing to the public in a way that is like people want to come in. But yeah, that's the directives there. I'm not gonna go through in detail here, but this is something I want everyone to think about, because if you're gonna ask everyone to think about it right now, it's gonna as in to answer right now, it's gonna take hours. So these are the things that I want people to think about. Okay. Firstly, ToastPunk OG DAO. What is its purpose? Okay. I've already written it in the Gitbook white paper, which it's on screen as well, and I'm gonna drop it here so everyone can see. But we need to establish the purpose. What is the DAO's purpose? Is it for us to be to increase value? I guess that's the ultimate purpose. Is it to help other people? Whatever it might be. Now, I think charity and mental health for the community is quite important. We've got a lot of people out there that have issues financially, etc., etc. Even some of us ourselves do have it as well. We understand that it affects mental health, and I think that's important for us to consider. One of the major things that we gotta look after, but at the same time be business oriented. That we got particular funding required for them and things like that. It's not a never ending fund. We're not a main charity. We help, but we're not established as a charity kind of thing. Okay, so think about what is the purpose, what is the goal, what we want to achieve, and let's set some proper goals. Like in 3 months from here, where do we want to see ourselves? 6 months, where do we want to see ourselves? 9 months, 12 months, where do we want to see ourselves? Okay. Once again, this all creates value for us here again. How will the DAO work? So the ones that have invested more, the ones that invested lesser, the ones that have come in earlier, the ones that come in later. How do we balance that out and make sure that it's fine? Once again, think about that. Okay. Who does what? Now there'll be some. I don't want to take everyone's time because there's going to be lots of people doing certain things in the DAO, but I think we need to establish some members that whatever they're good at doing. Could be this particular member of the DAO is really good at chasing whitelist spots, fighting for whitelist spots, and getting whitelist spots back for the project. And other projects. Someone could be really good at doing design. Someone could be really good at organizing funds. Someone could be really good at a particular language that they mean to expand to a particular community or whatever it might be. Whatever it is, right? There will be some who does what. We need to work that out per holder and per DAO member. Do members get paid, and how? That's a valid question. Like, do we want to, from the additional funding that's coming through, or from all the royalties that come through? Like, if we do make a big impact out there and the royalties are massive, this DAO could have a lot of money, and there's a way for us to pay ourselves, like pay each and every holder to say, hey guys, we're working part of the DAO. This is like kind of like a part-time board of director job or whatever, but we are putting in our efforts, and who puts in efforts, and how do we get paid? These are the things I want us to think about. Okay.
Yes, is the question. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm making a joke, but the answer to do we pay ourselves is yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree to that. I 100% agree to that as well. Platform. So we've chosen Upstream. Now, once again, it's a third party. We can create our own stuff as well, but Upstream is really cool. Before we implement it, unlike NFTX, we implement it straight away. Before we implement it, I'm gonna get all of you guys to have a look at it first, okay? To go, I like this part, I don't like that part. Gas is gonna be too much, or whatever it might be, right? Let's look at it. But upstream is currently the pinnacle of the DAO kind of establishments. Very transparent. They've got chat. They've got a few other things on there. They've got delegations of DAO as well, DAO votes as well. So if someone can't make the votes, it can be delegated to someone else. So I've chosen that for that particular reason. They're quite cool. In fact, I'm going to see them in New York when I hit there in June. And I'm going to see the BOF people as well when I get to New York. I'm excited for that. When to start? That's the final question. Basically, when do we start this? So we put a set date on the 1st of May. I guess we call it the formation date. So, you know, this is the date where we all realize and understand that this is going to happen. We just need to then tick all the boxes off, decide what's going on, and then from a project perspective or from a development perspective, just let us know what needs to happen. I'll bring our team in to get it all done. But all of us need to get ready as to what this is going to mean to us. Okay. So these are the things. I'll type it here. You know, again, you know, I'm going to put this one in the in here, the OG Holders Club site. Okay. So these are the things that I want us to think about as far as it's in the document. But I want us to think about what we need to do in these things here. Now moving on. Anyone got any other questions there at all? Please feel free to comment or ask any questions. Anyone at all? Vince, anything to add to it, or it's all cool?
At this stage, nothing. But a bit later on, I might just finish up with a few things.
Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem. Okay, cool. I'll move on a bit. I'll move on then because it's about an hour right now. I don't want to keep people too long. And also, this, as I said, this recording, we can listen to it again if we missed anything out. So some of the key decisions left with the project right now, but you know, we will decide them together. A few of the things which I need also answers for. Things like for the OG side, are we going to keep the prices? Are we going to keep the prices flat? So keep everything, say, at 0.09 or 0.19 or whatever. And this really depends on how we control our floor and how we all come together and agree and say, let's set it at 5 ETH, no less, whatever it is. Some of us put it at 6, some of us put it at 8, some of whatever it is. So at least there's the thing going. Okay, yes, you know, the newcomers coming in after getting vet, they have to mint at 0.19. Access to mint. Once again, how are we going to do that? Are we going to just keep one secret private to come in, or you need something else? Maybe you need to own a ToastPunk Genesis or own one of our other collections out there in order to mint. Okay. Third question is when to airdrop collection 3. So we are ready with that to go. You know, and also just one more thing about collection 3, in case everyone is working out what's going on and how do I get it or whether do I get it. Okay. So from a upgradable pass from, if you got an upgradable Genesis NFT in the whole list, we've got a OpenSea API. We finally got all of that then sorted, and after the hack and the unlock and everything else, we tested again. It works perfectly fine. There is going to be a balance of around, I would say, close to 200 upgradable NFTs. Okay, that are free. Where basically those wallets we can't give to them because they've either gone to a dusting wallet and been hacked. So we're not going to drop it back into that there. So we're going to keep it. Okay. I want the decision for the DAO here on what we want to do with this. Whether it's distribution to the DAO members, whether it's to hold in a vault, whatever it might be, let me know. Okay. And this will just help everyone here with an OG NFT to basically come into collection 4. If we say let's distribute everything to OG members instead. Okay. The next thing is when to allow the mint for collection 4. So we have right now the status of that is May the 7th. We will see sneak peeks of the humanoids, the first humanoids coming up. Okay. The contracts are being prepared simultaneously at the same time. So I would say about probably mid-May is when everything could be ready to be started for mint. Okay. And for those of you who missed out the collection 3, what it was about, we're gonna do a pre-reveal. So it's gonna be like a picture of the toaster that gets short-circuited and becomes a big toaster, and the humanoid walking out. That's gonna be the pre-reveal animation. And then once we are ready with Mint 4, then we would change that pre-reveal to a pass that they can actually go to the claim website and start to use. Okay. So yeah, when to mint that? Do you want to do it in May? Do we want to do it after ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club? When do you want to do that? That's another question we need to ask ourselves. Okay, the other one is, and I think it was mentioned in the OG club already. Separate humanoids or build humanoids in Genesis Racer Club. So hang on, let me just see. Another thing about humanoid Racer Club, I think it'd be best to build on the Genesis Racer Club SDK with a Game Pass or something, so that we can better touch both humanoids and Game Pass SDK port and be exclusive OG. Well. So let me explain something. Glassbot. The game is going to be built in SDK anyway, and we can differentiate both. Like, and the thing though is, because humanoid is called the humanoid and Genesis is called the Genesis, we can make them both. We can say ToastPunk humanoid and ToastPunk Genesis. Now, if we cross them over, it's basically we're giving a crossover game at the very beginning, right? Because it's two different collections. Okay. So my proposal and my suggestion is to keep them separate. Okay. Keep them separate. OGs can play in both. Like, OGs can play, well, not OGs can play in both, but if you got that NFT, you can play in both. You have the humanoid NFT or you have the Genesis NFT, you can play in both. Okay, and I guess as I said earlier on, the ToastPunk OG DAO will be the owners of both of those games, which means that the 15% from each of those games go back to the DAO. Okay. So answer that question and work it out, see what's the best way to do that. I've embedded yesterday since then for the merch giveaway, a daily merch, and I'm fine to do this. That's not a problem. It's in fact in the channel underneath the Doctor giveaway. So it says daily merch giveaway. What that means is every day from the activity we see in both chats, Toast chat or Genesis chat, that anyone stands out and does really, really well, then we select them and say, hey, you've done really well for today. You've whether positive or supported someone else, we're gonna give you a merch, and then we can process that. Our project can process that in the interim. That's not a problem at all. So yeah, ask yourself the question whether or not that's okay. I think that's okay. And the merch store to be built is progress on that is once again on May the 7th to May the 10th. I'm trying to make it less complex than that scope build that we had. But I think here's something where we got to work out with the OG DAO. What is the best way to do this? Do we just want to, give free merch for OG DAO members? Do we want to give, merch to everyone? What we got to establish what it is, and obviously that's relating back to the funds, okay, of what it is. We just got to balance that properly. Next question: community financial aid welfare. So right now the project has been giving out a lot. I know some of the other bigger OG members has been giving out a lot as well to other members, but we need to establish, I think, some sort of fund, and this is for welfare reasons and mental health reasons as well, for sure. We want to keep people sane. We want to keep the community happy, and this is some of the stuff which everyone struggles with. We know that, which is we don't want to make the wrong mistake at the wrong times, and should not. And the more that happens, the more FUD is being created around, and we don't want that as well. Okay, so I would say put aside, maybe $2,000, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, whatever it might be from the DAO, depending on the funding again. And if anyone has any cases, come forward with them. We work out what they are. We have maybe a particular DAO member to look at, is this real or not real, or this person trying to pull a fast one. Do some investigating, and then if they're fine, then they get part of the that fund there. That is we'll pay them to help them out a bit. Daily giveaway fund ideas again. Right now the project's been giving away from them, but their side we can establish something here that say it's a set, $5,000 or $4,000 or whatever a month. We put that proposal through, we vote it through, and say, yep, that's what's used for daily giveaways, and that's it. Investments. I think this is important. This is how we grow. But before we grow, we need to establish all this other ground stuff. But this is how we intend to grow. The DAO needs to grow. We will look at investments in land, look at investments in NFT projects, look at investments in secondary, look at investments at blue chips, whatever it might be. We got to look at all of that there. That's part of what I think later on we have to do. Right now, there's nothing else from my side as far as decisions are concerned in relation to ToastPunk OG and the DAO. Or Genesis or any of those other collections. I'm fine with handling all the rest. But yeah, would really appreciate some feedback from you guys there. And I think if you can provide that in the maybe the OG Holders Club discussion, that would work really, really well. Now, actions. So I would go back and work on the ToastPunk website and the mint.toastpunk page to make it, and I'll put it. I'll send it first to you guys here to have a look at, and you confirm whether or not that's cool. I'll get some Discord channel and a few other things updated as well. For those that missed this video and also miss attending this meeting today, hopefully when they come in and they say, "Oh, what's going on? Why is all this change?" You can at least advise them to the video and say, "Go check out this video." I'll tell them what's happening. I can create a white paper for the DAO so we know exactly what it is, but it's in fact already written here, kind of like that's the process, the overview, what we're intending to do, etc. We'll build on this here maybe. And then finally, maybe some OG messaging and referrals. So rekindling back of the old OGs that we know of that are around, that we can go and say hi to and bring them back in and say, hey, guys, let's something's happening here. Let's go back here and have a look. Let's reassess it. Let's provide our input, whatever it might be. But we need to bring all these OGs back, okay? And ultimately get our listings to that 5 ETH so that we establish something from at least a basis of what we're gonna start with. Okay. Now before I go on to the final part, any other questions from anyone? Of Vince, do you have any comments at all?
No, Matt, thank you. So,
Okay.
not for now.
No, anything else? Lucky Dan, anything else to mention? Nothing else? Anyone else? Summershine, that you're the guy. Anyone want to say anything? Go for it.
No, I finally got off mute, but I'm good.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just having a drink
Anybody
of
else?
water. Okay. So the final part of this is this communication and what we're gonna do. First and foremost, thank you everyone for spending the time here today. I think it's crucial that everyone took the time to actually come out here and listen. I hope that it's clear. I know Maxi, the German side of stuff is going to be hard, but read that the document anyway to go through it. It's quite in a nutshell. What we're doing is this. Okay, we're making the roadmap of ToastPunk part ToastPunk OG part inside the DAO. Okay, and the NFT from a public point of view will view it as I buy this, I get a seat at the DAO, okay, and I get to decide what is the future of this project and all the other 4 projects that is going along, okay. So that is basically what the rights of an NFT gives you, an OG NFT gives you. And also we would obviously if this treasury builds up, there'll be payments, there'll be whatever we want to do, create holidays, invest, whatever it is, okay. But this is by all of us working together, not just the project, all of us together being strong and working really, really strong in achieving what we want to achieve, okay. And speaking about strength, I'm going to end this meeting today with one thing. I just want to recognize there is 8 loaf holders. We have 8 people who've minted 10 or more ToastPunk OGs, and I got it on the screen right now. And if you guys have not seen it, it's in the document, the final page. But I'll also take a screenshot here so we can see who they are and what they are and what they get basically for this year. It's been a while since we've done it, but we've just recently got everything all together done. So from the top, we've got Lucky Dad. Second, you've got Jeff Winders. He's number 2. Summershine number 3. NFT Drip number 4. Lucky Sis number 5. Grand Creep number 6, Myers number 7, and Glasspot, which finally came in number 8. Now, what this means is don't worry about the numbers and all of that. I think numbers is just a sequence of events of when it happened. So we realize that that's what it is. But the core importance here is we know that we have these core 8 that have believed in us, and I know there's plenty of others as well. We've got people like Boss Meta, we've got people like King, we've got a few others out there that we know of that just need to be rekindled back in the project, okay? Now, the recognition here is just purely for recognition. We've created one-on-one art for each and every person. from Earth, space, water, fire, galaxy, chrome, carbon, and gold. So to establish all the different elements of where we're at. We will be airdropping all of those. So far, Lucky Dad's got his. All the other 7 haven't got theirs yet. So check your wallets out. It'll be in your wallets. Okay. It'll come under the ToastPunk Originals collection. Now, once again, I think these 8 here, because they're the first in, we need to ensure that they are, they are there. They understand what's going on. So things like, like the critical simple things, like please do not list, under 5 ETH for OGs. Other stuff you want to make some money, Genesis, all of that, whatever, no problem, because that's part of it. But yeah, for OG, let's protect our OG. Let's protect the rest of the OGs and show leadership here. Okay. So once I've checked and made sure that there's no 5 ETH, no under 5 ETH listing, all of that, it'll be dropped. But once again, make sure we continue on with it and push forward it that way. Okay. Any other final comments before we end this today, Vince?
Yeah, Matt, thanks for that. And hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. All I wanted to say, yeah, it's what we're working on, and Matt's touched it in detail today, and I won't take too much of your time. But if you think of it like an organisation, the OGs is the holding company, and every single piece of the puzzle, we have an impact on it, definitely, but we also reap rewards. And the goal of it is to always look after those that have come in at the early settlers and those who've believed in this project from day one, and also those that believe in the project if they've just come in yesterday. The truth of the matter is that there are so many moving parts in this industry, and Matt touched on a few things with the ToastPunk world to the Racer Club. But one of the things that the investors have been telling, and very, very optimistic with me, is we have a product that's ready to go tomorrow and make some serious announcements in the industry. Not too many have done similar projects to us. In fact, there's not too many right now that we can name that are close to us. But what we also target with the Racer Club is to get those early entry guys that are doing some NFT projects who can't necessarily go and build a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 game like Racer Club, but can just attach themselves to us. And that just not only gets momentum driven, but also generates revenue, generates goodwill, but also starts building and hitting our KPIs that we've set. So we may have just covered all of this in about an hour and a bit, and I'm sorry it's gone a bit over. But the crux of the takeaway is that this has probably been about 8 to 9 months in the making, but more importantly, the last 6 months really working on with some analytics, some really thorough planning, which you can see Matt just delivering a couple of those documents. But we truly believe that what we've put forward and what we're representing and what we're recommending is going to give the best value on our investment, and that is being an owner of the OG. So things will definitely change. They change by the hour. In fact, whilst we've been on this call, I have received a couple of messages that may have just changed a few little things, but they're not critical.
I got those messages as well. Like, let's go. We got
exactly.
This not too much detail, but we've got a big one on Monday. I mean, you've seen my tweet come out, all these things. Like if the partnerships all happen there and everything else, like it's just basically we're moving forward at a pace that is going to be ridiculous, right? Of course, the questions you can ask ourselves is, would we have preferred now to be where we were, or what we intended to be? Absolutely, we could be more, but I'm content because all I'm saying is this: to get where we want to get right now for many projects is already very difficult. Okay. And we did not build any special hype or anything at all. We went through a full organic way of building up, a full organic way of building the community. We've got great people in here. We still have a lot of good people, and there's still more opportunities for us to grow even more. Okay, and I think it's about us setting some simple clarity to the market, because people are going to go. Right now, today, people look at the market and go, oh, there's this, there's that, there's that. It's too many things. Even, in fact, when I review projects, I say the same thing. We need to make it clean and concise. ToastPunk OG DAO as an NFT here would be the supremacy. And there's no ceiling to where this can go. Okay? We do well. The better we do, the higher the price goes up. 5 ETH, 10 ETH, 20 ETH, 50. We can pass proof collective if we want to. Okay, but all that requires real community, I guess, belonging and community togetherness to work towards that goal. Okay, so starting as of
Yeah.
now,
Mate, can I just
please.
say, yeah,
You know, I
can I,
want to say something. The 5 ETH, please just don't list under 5 ETH, please, for ToastPunk OG.
yeah,
That's the most important step for
and,
now, if we can help anything.
yeah. And Matt, my last comment to the group is this. You've made a hard investment to come into this ToastPunk world and to join us in this journey that we knew when we started off. Right now, you've made the hard investment. Now let you be a part of it, or why don't you be a part of it and now start joining the group and start, from my point of view, because you've made the investment and you've got every single right to voice your opinions of where we're going with
Exactly.
what we've been doing up to now. And we're only going to get stronger by your voice, your actions, your recommendations, and testing us and always opening up the next opportunity that we may not have seen. So, yeah, I think the investment's been made, it's been made. Now let's go and enjoy it and reap the rewards, because we both know, Matt, we're here for the long term and we
Yeah,
know
exactly.
what it could
Exactly.
potentially
Just
be. But we
there's
only,
one thing.
only
There's one thing is a given. Is what Vince is
that's it.
saying. We will always be here. We will push, and we'll keep pushing this to the next level. I will make decisions based on the best decisions at that particular moment of time, and I've always done this in especially startups and especially growth industries or new industries like this. Like we are carving something out totally different than a lot of people that do it. Okay, and small little things that we do like this year, like dropping off 5 ETH, making sure that we don't have 5 ETH floor. Bringing our older OGs and say, hey, come back and listen to this video, okay? Or spending some time here. These small little things all help us to catapult forward, okay? And then let us worry about the big VC stuff with the back end to try our best to push everything together. Ultimately, they might come and join the ToastPunk OG DAO as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Some of those people that go in, because they will see how powerful we are as a DAO. Okay, that's my aim anyway. That's what I want to achieve with ToastPunk OG as a DAO, and that's what I want to give as the ultimate utility to everyone. Okay, and if everyone is happy with that, there, let's go full force with this year. Okay. Once again, anyone else got any questions? Feel free. Let's discuss it in the Holders Club channel or the OG DAO discussion channel. I'm gonna close this off right now. Close the recording off. Hopefully my voice recorded. If not, means oh no. Remember one of the Discord discussions we did, the voice didn't record. Hopefully this does. Anyway, I just want to say, guys, thank you again. Is there any final comments from anyone at all? Coventu, when Lambo, no. Glassbot, when
Yes, I have one quick question. Sorry.
Sure.
Is the special loaf NFTs are going to be limited to the 8, or is it still possible to get 10 OGs and become a loaf?
No, can grow. So it's as long as you got 10 OGs, you're gonna get one of these special ones. That's the idea of this whole one-on-one. Okay, so we grow it up
Okay, cool.
that way. But for
Yeah, I'm
today,
only a few away.
yeah, cool. Up to this point, we've got 8, and we're gonna reward all of this 8, and you keep it there. There's an unlockable. When you click it, there's something unlockable in there that you will see. Okay, you can open up, then unlock. It's only visible to yourself. Okay. Anyway, it's like a fortune cookie. Okay, you've seen something else going on. It's just our recognition to everyone here. Thank you so much again for coming, guys.
One final point.
Oh, sure.
Matt, the role Genesis and LG when offering their NFTs under value in the chat.
Yeah. Sorry, what's the question?
Yeah, the question is what we do with the persons which offering their NFTs in the chat under the value from 1 ETH per 5 ETH.
Yeah, I agree that should not be done in the chat. I think we should establish. I'm going to speak to and I actually have established with the community leaders and the mods already. But I think the action then it should be you wanna sell something, put in the NFT trading chat group. We've got an NFT trading chat group that you can put it down there as in NFT trading chat group. Put it in there. Don't blast it in the chats. If you want to, I'll make a strict rule right now, right then. We'll delete every single message that comes past and say, sorry, that's against our you want to sell something, whether it's higher or whether it's lower, to put into the NFT trading group, okay? Or the NFT trading channel. Is that okay?
Yeah, really. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
No, I
perfect.
agree with that too. Yeah.
Our mods, are you here? Mods, who's the mods here? We've got Louis, Shea down at the
Yeah.
bottom, Zelisha, beautiful. Guys, please let the other mods know. And also the community leaders that are not here as well. So we've got, I think, 7, or we got Kareem, we got a few others. Make sure any listing that goes into any of the chat channels that says, talks about, not talks about, but says, I want to sell this, I want to sell that, just tell them, oh, I'm sorry, they put a link to selling something, say no, not allowed, put it into the NFT trading chat group, the chat channel, and remove that link out, okay? Thank you, Zelisha, Louis, Cheer. Anything else, guys? Nothing else? All good? Lucky Dad, anything else?
No, I'm all good. Thanks for putting this together, and thanks for all the hard work you guys do for us.
No problem. So I would let me get this up into YouTube. As I said, let's bring all the other OGs back. Let's remember who the other OGs are. Bring them back and say, guys, please watch this video and please understand it's going to be simple now. Let's go out there and let's do our best, okay, in what we need to do. Thank you guys for coming again. We'll chat with you guys later. Be well and take care. Okay. Ciao.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Ciao. 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 Ciao.
Yeah.